Chapter 8. All I remember was I was sitting on the couch in the living room, wrapped in a fuzzy red blanket, unwrapped presents surrounding me, and drunk off of the swirling laughter that engulfed me. I took sips of hot vegan cocoa. I stared into the fireplace, the flames entangled in an ethereal dance of love. My mother had long since stopped crying. She had stumbled into a fit of tears, unwrapping each gift she received. She was swept up in an embrace of eternal gratitude. It was a far cry from the mother that was in charge of handing out the gifts on Christmas morning when I was little. "This is from your Uncle Tom. I don't care if you hate it." She would hover over me, whispering and dangling a shiny wrapped gift above my head. "Now sit up straight, open it with a smile, and let them all know how much you love it." She hastily tossed the present in my lap before moving on to my brother, who was sitting on the floor next to me, cross-legged, elbows on thighs, head in hands, looking miserable. Family Christmases were more stressful than they should have been, especially for a child. Christmas was supposed to be about love, happiness, gratitude, giving, and celebrating. It was supposed to be about family. We turned it into a huge circus fully equipped with 3 rings. Mother was the ringmaster. In one ring, we have the women, in the kitchen busily preparing a huge meal that was to be consumed before presents were opened. There was guilt to be had if they were not thanked and gushed over properly. The next ring, we have the men, who would rather not mess with Christmas, but watch the football game instead. They did not want to be there at all. Watching football in the basement was a great escape from screaming children and nagging women. The third ring housed the rambunctious children, who were tired of being cooped up during their winter vacation from school and cranky with having their schedule disrupted, even if it was Christmas. Everyone had enormous levels of stress. The energy and the heat in our home was stifling. My mother always cranked up the heat for a family gathering, and I always ended up drenched in sweat. Of course, then my mother would get mad at my sweaty appearance. I was never going to win at Christmas. Never. So I came to view Christmas as yet another time I had to portray myself in such a way that was so far from the real me. I was beginning to understand how I got so many miles turned around in the wrong direction before I realized I was driving the wrong vehicle. My entire childhood was a preparation for transforming me into what the adults in my life wanted me to be. And now, as I observed my mother all day long, she was light years away from the woman she used to be. Now it was my turn to take the leap and transform into the real me. But the ever-glaring question was, who was I? "Kat, do you need some more cocoa?" Alan was standing over me with his usual smile that was so warm it illuminated the room. "Sure," I smiled back, as radiant as I could, handing my cup up to him. He and Mother headed to the kitchen to prepare some more hot cocoa. I noticed Sean, at the other end of the room, make his way to a seat next to me on the couch. "I gotta know," he asked as he plopped down next to me. "How did you do it?" "Do what exactly?" My eyes were already heavy with sleep and the sun was setting, making them worse. "Figure out the perfect gifts for us. I mean, didn't you just start your whole transformation process a couple of days ago?" "I hauled all of those boxes up the stairs right before Thanksgiving." He was indeed perplexed. "Yes, how did I do that?" "Honestly, I have no idea what happened." I leaned in, whispering. I was embarrassed about not picking out the gifts myself. "My assistant, Martin, ordered them all after I handed him my debit card and filled him in on details about each one of you that I knew, which was very little." I was racked with guilt. Guilt with how I treated Martin, how little I knew about the family. Guilty, guilty, guilty. "Wow. He must be an incredibly good gift giver. I have never seen Mom cry so much over gifts," he noticed. "I'm sorry," was the only way I knew how to respond. For what? He turned to me. I have never seen her happier. It is like this completion with her. She has everything she has ever wanted in life. I just feel bad that I have been so absent. My assistant seemed to know more about you all than I did. I lowered my head. It was still your money. We really love and appreciate everything. He saw Mother and Alan coming back in before quickly muttering under his breath, "Your secret is safe with me." After our bellies were full of a Christmas feast, the power kicked back on. Even though the whole campout was fun and it brought us all closer, I was craving a hot bath. I thanked my lucky stars when my mother suggested I go up and take one as soon as she was certain the hot water had kicked back on. Sean was busy helping to deflate the blow-up beds and moving his things up to the spare bedroom, as he would still need to crash there with the road still impassable. Alan was cleaning up after dinner with Mother. It was nice to escape for a bit of solitude. I went to my room to grab my phone for some music. I had not indulged in a long time. I pulled it out of my purse and switched it on. As I was pulling out clean pajamas from my suitcase, I heard my phone go crazy as notifications were pouring in. Oh, right. I had not checked my phone since I had arrived here. Well, might as well take the phone to the tub and check all these notifications while soaking in a hot bath to lessen the stress this process would no doubt have on my body. An Epsom salt bath and checking to see how all my friends were taking my demise. What a wonderful way to end Christmas. I locked myself away in the bathroom and turned the tub faucet on. I adjusted the temperature to the hottest I could stand it, and then began to dump the salt in. I disrobed and quickly jumped in the tub. It was still quite chilly in the house. I was thankful the hot water heater had enough time to heat up before I got into the bathroom to take my bath. As I got in the tub, I was extra careful not to get my phone wet, as it was in my hand, ready to reveal its secrets to me. I was nervous. I was apprehensive. I was flat out scared. I had never been so afraid to use my phone before. I did my best to steady my hands before sliding my phone into the unlocked position. The majority of notifications came from Facebook. I decided to get the worst out of the way first. What was revealed to me as soon as I opened the Facebook app was worse than anything I could have ever imagined. Or maybe it was a blessing in disguise. I had been presumed dead. I had succumbed to an excess of pills and alcohol, no longer alive. Never before had I imagined that I would be killed off in such a way. It was like watching a dramatic soap opera where the evil lead character meets her demise swiftly. Everyone saw it coming. There were some alarming posts made directly onto my Facebook wall. Others used witty, memorized sayings to help those trying to deal with my untimely passing. There were some extremely concerned messages in my inbox. Then there were messages that embraced me and hoped I was resting comfortably in heaven with my Savior, assuming I had confessed all my sins and accepted Jesus into my heart before I took myself out. Perfect. Just perfect. It was worse than I thought. It wasn't a bunch of fake sorries about the loss of my job and my apartment. It wasn't even the hostile, "you got what was coming." It was horrible. I ceased to exist. I was done. I no longer matriculate the lives of these people. This was a lot of people we were talking about. A whole friends list of thousands of people who knew me to be dead. They were all friends with a ghost. Immediately, a panic thought entered my anxiety-ridden head. Was I really, in fact, dead? Did I succeed in killing myself? Was this my version of the afterlife? Completing out the life I led and then retreating to what I had wanted all along in my waking life? A family in which I hardly recognized, who treated me with love and respect. Where exactly was I? In spite of my otherworldly feelings, I decided to take it upon myself to do something that was long overdue. I did a quick search for Martin. I was surprised how easy it was for me to find him. He had not blocked me. What followed were not my words, but of this ethereal force I apparently had been reduced to in my newfound spectral form. I felt much like the ghost of Christmas past in A Christmas Carol, childlike, yet actually dead. Dear Martin, I am not quite sure where to start. It seems like forever since we last spoke, yet it was just last week. I am very sorry for the way I treated you while we worked together. I should have never been so cruel. I now see you as a man with such incredible strength and stamina. I very much hope you were kept on despite my termination. They should give you my job. You are that talented. You would most definitely do a much better job than I did. I would really like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to buy such amazing gifts for my family. You seemed to know what each one would want and cherish. Bravo. You made me incredibly happy today. I have not been happy in a long, long time. Thank you so very much. I hope you have a wonderful holiday with your family. I know you are going great and incredible places. Good luck with everything. Most sincerely, Kathryn Wilde. And with that, I officially closed that chapter on my life. I really was dead to the world. I stared at my profile page for a long time, staring into the eyes of the heavily filtered profile picture. That was no longer me. I was not that person anymore. I was Kat Wilde, whoever the hell that was, but I ceased to exist as this Kathryn Wilde, editor from New York City. So, I guess it was time to finally burn this witch. I navigated my way back to my messages. Of course, the little notification at the bottom of my message indeed showed that Martin had immediately read it as soon as I sent it to him. What stealth we social media monsters have. We are notified of a message. Ding! We have a message from someone who wants to say something specifically to us. That means we are important. Let's drop everything that we are doing right now and look at it. Well done, Martin. You have reached Facebook level ninja. I made my way to the settings of the Facebook app. Are you sure you want to deactivate your profile? It asked me. Like maybe I had accidentally found my way to the settings and hit the deactivate button by mistake? Right. Yep, sure do. With that, I was officially declared dead. Kathryn Wilde no longer had a Facebook account. Then it was true. She was dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. The wicked witch of the concrete jungle.